Hello, everyone. I don't know what to say. Let's just go.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Well, I'm glad I didn't dress up for the occasion. Good morning from sunny Southern California here. Good afternoon from beautiful England over there. James, welcome back to the show. How are you? Welcome.
Yeah, I wish it could be better. I wish it could be in better circumstances. There we go. I'm at a loss for words in my intro. I'm at a loss for words at the football. Yeah, what a day! What a day!
Hold on one second. George, I'll call you back. I'm live on air. Okay, cuz. Thank you. He's leaving the game and he keeps calling me. And I said, I can't talk. I'm doing the show. So good morning with my bedhead. I don't even know where to begin. I'll just begin at the beginning of that was the second of three games that we had to win. And firstly, I would like to apologize to fans like Troy, who predicted, I think Troy said 2-0. There were a couple of others that said 2-1. And I said, don't be crazy and try not to be negative. And I'm not going to have a total meltdown. Maybe everyone was tuning in to expect, breakdown, meltdown, rock bottom moment, because I'll be called a flip-flopper and I don't care. I honestly give a rat's ass what people say. That loss there, I've supported Arteta a lot over the last few games. That reminded me of the Europa League semi-final where he put unnecessary square pegs in round holes. James and Josh yesterday were talking about how he needs to stand by Nuno. He's his player. He bought him for a reason. He's the backup to Tierney. Sambi Lokonga, the backup in midfield. And what does he do to both players, right? Nuno, I said on this show earlier in the week, Nuno will never play another game for the Arsenal. Doesn't trust him. Right? And Kev was suggesting a Cedric move to left back. I said play Saka at left back, put Pepe on the right, and support Lokonga by keeping Xhaka in the middle. So what does he do to Sambi Lokonga? Sets him up to fail. No man's land, midfield. Diabolical decision. The first goal. Where was Xhaka? Way up the pitch. A space left larger than the Grand Canyon. He did the same thing when he played Emery's Villarreal in the semi-final of the Europa League. In our biggest moment where he had to step up as a manager, he made the worst decisions. Now, of course, the players are culpable and responsible. They were, again, terrible. Where has this terrible form come from at the most important point of the season? Crystal Palace you can put down to a bad night. This is 2 in a row playing like that. Now that's bad form. James, I'm going to take a break, take a breather. What did you think of the lineup? Let's just start at the very tippy top of the mountain. By the way, sorry, I forgot to salute you guys. There you go.
Yeah, I said to you when the lineup come in, I went, I can't believe that he's dropped Tavares. He gave a bit of I thought it was a slightly arrogant press conference with some of the answers. Mm-hmm. And I thought, this kid has been crucified, but yet you have brought him in to be your backup for Kieran Tierney. And now you're telling me that Granit Xhaka at left back is a better option than the guy that you brought in to be your backup left back. It just, make it make sense, Sophie. Make it make sense. I honestly, I just can't, a lot of people predicted it. I just can't believe that it's happened the way it's happened. It's
Listen, we've got some very smart listeners, James, and there were many people, and you can, if you guys want to go rewind it, that was saying he will start Xhaka at left back.
Yeah.
I said on the show yesterday, there's no way he's dropping Lacazette. Absolutely no way. But you and Josh were right to have you had Gabby starting in the middle. Josh had Emile Smith Rowe. We'll get to the player ratings and all that type of stuff and performances.
Do we have to?
Yeah, we do. Can't lie, Soph. If we don't get Champions League, I'll be real. We won't be making progress for years. We have to be. And Manchester United lost today.
Well, that's the thing. We still don't ever take advantage of things that slightly go our way. And like I said to you at the top of the show, Brighton haven't won in the Prem in April, but along come Arsenal, and there's another record that's been broken there again. And
they hadn't scored a goal in nine games.
Well, this is the thing. Josh told us they were awful, so I dread to think what happens when we play a team that's good. If they're awful, then God knows what's going to happen when we play Chelsea and United in a couple of weeks' time.
No, Bonzo, please don't give me this rubbish. No, the disallowed goal did not change anything. It was a goal that was disallowed. Please, let's not do this. We lost because we played absolute rubbish football until they got the second goal and we had, 10 minutes left.
Yeah. There's
no excuses for this loss. None whatsoever. This is a horrific result that empowers Tottenham, who are going to play in a little bit here, that still gives Manchester United hope to at least finish in a Europa League spot, that makes West Ham think, well, if we beat them, I know we don't have the games in hand, but I'm not trying to be melodramatic here. I'm not overreacting, you guys. I said to you, I made a vow. I said, I'm going to stand by the team and the manager 100%, but I say things as I see them. And Crystal Palace was a disaster. This is an even bigger disaster because Palace have some semblance of an identity of, they've got 4 points off Manchester City. They've been playing well under Vieira. Brighton have been absolute garbage. Josh, who has a season ticket at Brighton and goes there because he lives in Brighton, told us yesterday that they are rubbish. They can't defend. They can't score. Unacceptable. James, what did you make of the disallowed goal? Because apparently the goalkeeper doesn't come into play, right? I thought the white boot was a little off, but go on.
Yeah, it's really difficult for me because when it initially went in, a lot of my groups are going, yes, and screaming and everything. And obviously over here it wasn't on the TV, so you're a few minutes behind in how you watch it. And when it initially first went in, I thought, I think he's off. But then I saw all the screaming going on, so I thought, okay. And when I've watched it back, again, it needs to, like they say, clear and obvious. And I thought that they said at the start of the year, things like that, you would give the advantage to the attacker. So for me, I still think he's about a Rizzler paper off, sadly, from where I've watched it again. And I know they've got their lines, how they do it, and it's all manipulated to make them look like they've got it right and, we're all wrong. But yeah, you can't just pin it on that goal. I mean, we still had chances. There's one in the first half where Smith Rowe should have hit it first time. There's one in the second half where Odegaard's running through into the box and then he plays it wide to Saka. If he went on his own, he might have, finished himself. It's clutching at straws to try and, make something out of it. But there's nothing. There's nothing here, There's no salvage in this whatsoever. It was shocking. It was absolutely shocking.
The other thing too is, Los Angeles said, I can't, I'm tapping out. Tap out. if you don't want to hear the truth, or our truths, I mean, what's your truth? What do you guys think? I mean, I'm trying to put as many of your comments up as I can in chat right now. But Juanita, it's an even bigger disaster than Palace. Brighton rubbish, 100%. And I don't want to hear any excuses about, we've got injuries. Leicester City have had some of the worst injuries all season. And it has affected them. United have had injuries. Tottenham have had injuries. West Ham have had injuries. Every team has injuries. Now we're going to complain. We've been lauding Cedric because he stepped in and done a good job for Tommy. A lot of you wanted Nuno over Tierney earlier on this season, and now Tierney is like, oh my God, we can't do anything without Tierney. And Thomas Partey's been killed by many fans for most of the season, barring 2 months. So if you want some truth serum, let's discuss. Yeah. Why didn't this manager drop Lacazette today? Why doesn't he? You bench Aubameyang for his behaviour and for the fact that he can't score goals. Now, I know I've stood by Lacazette. He's a leader. He's stepped in. He's been fantastic. He's one of the reasons why we've been able to get to this point because of the way he plays, James. But he was absolutely, the word of the day is horrific. Tell me about Lacazette.
Yeah, well, same as he was on Monday. Just went missing. You wouldn't know it. You didn't know he was there. You just didn't know he was there. And so you've said it so many times that the team is a reflection of the manager. The manager today set them up all muddled. I said on Thursday, don't muddle this up. Stick to what we've been doing, because otherwise, it's going to go wrong. And that's exactly what happened. If you want to go back to the first goal, Xhaka is completely out of position, right? That drags Lokonga to cover that left back space. And then where he's meant to be in the middle, who was it, Trossard or whoever that scored?
Yeah, Trossard.
Well, he's got all that space in the middle to smash the ball like that, because that's theoretically where Lokonga should be coming in and Xhaka should be at the left back. But there's a guy with limited mobility who wants to play as that left 8 or in the middle. He's pushed too far on and we've got caught. People go, it's a hit and hope ball by Dunk. Even if it was, I'm like, it's caught us out, hasn't it?
Yeah,
it's caught us out.
100%.
That's the thing. So if with what you do from your job or whatever, say someone has a sick day, you don't go, I'm going to get Tom from accounting to do, I don't know, production or whatever you're doing, PR, whatever. Let's get Sonia that makes the teas to do the direction, become the director of the film because, I don't know, Steven Spielberg's been sick today. You don't do it. When you're in the crunch like this, stick to what you know, stick to what you're doing. And again, he's had that like Pep Guardiola against Chelsea moment, going to be a bit clever here. Done it last season. He should have learned from last season against Villarreal. Do not put Granit Xhaka at left back. Yeah. And he's been slapped up again. Up again.
The comparison with Pep Guardiola is real. The difference is Pep Guardiola has the talent and the squad depth to be able to do that. Now it's backfired on Pep in the Champions League the last 2 years, and he was questioned about that just before their last European match and kind of tried to make a muddle of his answer. But the truth is that Arteta tried to be too clever today. And a lot of you are putting up, and he's not Pep, 100%. That's what I'm saying. And a lot of you are putting up comments about how January is now coming back to bite us in the arse. I bring them up as an example because I think they're a great example. Newcastle were on their knees, right? New ownership comes in. They don't even know if they're going to make it in the Premier League. They buy 2 or 3 players in the January transfer market. Trippier has been injured lately, but when he came in, immediately fires up the team, becomes captain. People were laughing at Tottenham's 2 signings from Juve. And look how they've enhanced even the way Kane and Son play, especially Kulusevski. This is going to help them in these last few games. We did nothing other than get rid of the deadwood and get rid of the toxicity. And they rolled the dice on that and kept to their transfer plan that they had decided the previous summer that they were going to do. But football is mobile. Football moves, shifts. And you have to be prepared for these things. David says we need to stop bringing up January. They made a call not to buy anyone and it's backfired. We need to focus on how we get the results. But that's the point, David. We bring up January because it's important. The manager says he doesn't have to justify it. How's he going to justify this loss today? Let's go through the players, James. Before we do that, I want to read out some stats. We've got 20 shots on goal to their 8. We had 4 on target. They had 3. 65% possession for us. 506 passes to 281. Very similar to Palace. I mean, what's the point if you're not going to do anything with the ball? Yeah. 83% pass accuracy, 70%. A lot of the times, we'll get to Lokonga, but I felt the most sorry for him, to be honest with you, today. 100%. 19 fouls Brighton committed. The referee was a bit of a joke as well in terms of, you know, Saka's getting chopped down like a tree and then Odegaard gets booked. But again, no excuses.
So if you're losing control of Arsenal versus Brighton as a ref, you really got to look at yourself. What hostility is there between Arsenal and Brighton?
Totally.
In that second half, he lost it for about 5 to 10 minutes. And it's like, mate, come on. Like, what is the matter with all of you?
They had 4 yellow cards. We had 3. Which is an insane ratio considering how many fouls they had made. We got a little clumsy in the second half and desperate. I'm not going to kill him, but Saka's dive, come on, that's how desperate he got. Yeah. That was really sad for me to see. Like he felt like he had to do that in order to put us in a position to just try and create a chance. You know, other teams, we kill plays for that. So that wasn't a good look. 2 offsides each. We had 11 corners. They had 2. Again, we were flat. We were slow. We came off. We never, ever were in the game in the first half. Never in the game. And I agree with Name Block. Mikel, unprepared, deserves everything he gets. You know what? He was outcoached by Vieira, and today he was outcoached. Tell me if I'm wrong, James. Was he outcoached by Graham Potter? Because it felt like Potter made major adjustments to this team. His square pegs, round holes did work a lot better. But he had to because he was in a terrible position with no results, no goals in 9 games. And like you said, Brighton never won a match in the Premier League in April.
Yeah. Yeah, no. And again, most sides, you know, that are semi-competent compared to what we are at the moment will see us as a scalp and they'll go, we can take them. You know, if I saw the lineup and saw that he put Granit Xhaka at left back and put Lokonga, who I'm really sorry, I can't remember the last time Lokonga started for us, but it feels like ages ago. And for Lokonga to start on his own at the base of a midfield with Mwepu, Basuma and all that, and you've got to protect my back 4 as well. It's just you know, setting them up for failure. I mean,
absolutely. Let's run through the plays and then we'll get to your Lokonga bit as well. And this too, by the way, what was Cedric doing taking that first free kick? James and I were WhatsApping about that. Absolutely, Odegaard should be taking them. Okay, James, let's start at the very top of the Arsenal 11 tree, and we'll go with Rambo.
Yeah, gets a 6 for me.
Was there anything he could do? Nothing he could do for either goal. Did you think he got down too slow on the second?
No. He got his hand in the way, but it was a wonder strike. To be fair, absolute wonder strike. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think. Some people will say Ramsdale has been a little less vocal in the last. I didn't see him have that bravado. Someone in chat said about 5 minutes ago, something feels like, where's the energy gone with this team? What's happened after the international break? I don't want to start like being a conspiracy theorist. Oh, what's going on? Something's happening in the dressing room. But the energy is different, James.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's that whole bit where when we face any kind of moment of adversity, we just seem to crumble. And it's been that way ever since Eduardo got kicked against Birmingham City and Gallas was all petulant, sat on the ground. And how many years ago was that? That's just how we've been since that moment. For whatever managers are there, whatever player is there, there's just, like you say, that weak sauce mentality that creeps in. But when you know that you've got somewhat of that weak sauce mentality, like I keep saying, don't muddle everything around. Because it's only going to confuse them even more. In the second half, Sophie, we're all on WhatsApp going, what the hell formation and who's playing where?
I sent you a note.
What's going on?
I sent you a note saying, genuine question, what position is Xhaka playing?
Yeah, and I'm like, is Martinelli left back?
Left back?
I can't even tell. I don't know what's happening.
All right, you're going to take us to the next player. I want to read this out from Big Guy. He hates it when pundits and fans blame Arteta for every loss. Stop. We've lost 10 times. I had not a pop at Gooner Russ last night, but Gooner Russ was like, Soph, we've lost 9 games this season. And I said, yeah, but we've been on a bit of a run and we lost to Palace. It was the first time in how many games? But it's the truth. And also, by the way, we don't blame Arteta for every loss. But for me today, he has a lot to do with the fact that we lost. He set his team up, and in particular, 2 players to fail. Yeah,
100%.
Okay, James, who's next?
So, Cedric, for me, he gets 7.5. I thought he was the best of a bad bunch. And I mean, when Cedric is your man of the match in terms of Arsenal players, you know, it's for me, that speaks volumes. He hasn't put a foot wrong since he's come in. But that to me speaks volumes when Cedric is your best player. Yeah.
I don't think he was as good as he has been. I think we're starting to see kind of like who he really is. And he's been so good. But again, you know, long term, we know he's not the answer. Short term, he's done a really, really good job. But today I felt like, I don't know, I thought he did better against Palace and worse against an inferior opposition today. Is that harsh?
Apart from that shoddy free kick, I thought he did everything else quite well. I thought his corners weren't too bad either. And I thought defensively, he looked the best out of the lot because the others had to muck in, filling in due to the silliness at left back and in midfield.
Yeah, I'll give him a 4.5 today. I didn't think he was great, but he's not the reason why we lost. All right, who's next, James?
Ben White.
Do you want to do these two together?
Okay, well, yeah, if you want to do them together, both 6 for me. Gabriel had a few headers in attacking positions that on another day maybe he might have scored or we might have got something out of it. But yeah, I mean, Ben White today didn't get to do what he normally gets to do because it was a panic. It literally become a panic. And when it is a panic, that guy needs time. And they didn't give us no time. Welbeck was on him. He knew they want that guy to have time to spread that ball about. But really, the only outball that he technically had in the middle was Lokonga, and it couldn't really use it because of the mess that we set up in.
Surely Ben White, Benjamin White and Gabriel can't be at 6s and 7s because Tierney's not playing left back. I mean, if that's the type of... I mean, I believe their DNA and player profile to be a lot stronger than that. And I've been a huge backer of Benjamin.
I'd like to think the same.
Yeah. Right. But everyone seems lost. Since the Palace game, this game, you said it a little bit earlier. And remember in that second half when Arteta made some subs and Emile Smith-Rowe at Palace at Selhurst Park, he was like putting his arms up. There was a little exchange between them. I don't know what it is. Now, I know Gabriel's become a dad. Like Kev and I talked about this. Kev is like, come on, no excuses. You know, I know Xhaka's had to deal with his grandmother's passing, I believe. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if he went to the funeral. There's some, you never know. I don't know. I'm not going to be talking about something that I don't know, but it's out there. But these are professional footballers.
Yeah.
So for me, again, the two of them, they get a 3.5 today.
Yeah.
We had 11 corners and Gabriel couldn't even make one count.
I mean, they're so used to having Partey there as a shield as well, and
that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, it was all completely gone.
Yeah. All right, who's next, James?
Xhaka.
Now, again, Xhaka's going to get not all of the blame, but he's going to get a lot of stick, right? He's just playing a position that his manager's asked him to.
Oh, yeah.
And to be honest with you, he's not been awful. Plus 500 of you in live chat. Thanks so much for joining us, by the way, after a really, really tough loss. I know it's not easy watching shows. Trust me, it's not easy doing shows after games like this. We would rather be waxing lyrical about hat-tricks and my 4-1 prediction. Poof, talk about be off on my prediction than doing this. But I know that Xhaka has been the dartboard, James, but he also has been pretty decent in the last few games. But today was asked to do something, and it's just not his jam. He gets a 3.
Yeah. But you know that he's got limited mobility, so why put him out there? You know, I was so glad that Lamptey didn't start for him, because he could have absolutely ruined.
Oh my gosh,
it would have been horrible. He probably would have got sent off potentially, trying to have to keep up with him. Just absolute mess. And again, like you said, this is a guy that, okay, Lacazette has the armband on, but he's one of the true supposed leaders in the squad. And I believe in his head, he still thinks he's one of the leaders in the squad. So maybe he does push forward because he thinks, oh, I need to get on the ball a bit more and do something. I need to take this game by the horns and everything. But I hate to keep reverting back to it and sound like a broken record, but he should not be put in that position. Just as much as people are laying into Xhaka now, which, it is. Yeah, it's true. Manager put that, it's his fault. He should not be put in that position in the first place.
Yep. And I think in the second half he did better. And you could see him moving more to the middle because that's more of his natural position. Where he felt like he could affect the game, Yeah. And of course, because, Brighton literally parked the bus in the second half, he felt like he could do that. But my goodness, I wonder how would this game have been if he had started in midfield with Lokonga. And let's shift to him because you and I were exchanging messages about Sambi.
Yeah.
And I wish, he's the shushing picture here. He's, again, a young player, 22 years old, hardly played, right? Leader at Anderlecht, captain at Anderlecht at 21 years old, under Vincent Kompany, gets his chance today to come in. Thomas Partey has been great, other than the Crystal Palace game, for the last 2 months post-AFCON. And the manager decides to have him be like a lone wolf. I felt like it was Jon Snow, the Battle of the Bastards, with the horses coming towards him and Jon Snow like putting his sword up saying, the difference is that's a TV show and this is reality. James, talk to me about Conga and what you think the manager did in terms of setting up that midfield and how it could have been the nucleus of why the game started off poorly and just went on from there.
Well, I said before the game, it's a huge gamble. Because, again, I still can't remember the last time he started for us. But it's literally, you are starting and you have to run my midfield as well as protect my back four. And for a young player, and okay, people go, oh, yeah, he was the captain at Anderlecht. he's this, that, and the other. You know, he signed him, so show him the faith and everything else like that. Yeah, I'll back you to an extent, but I'm like, you can't expect him after all this time to do that. I mean, he's been an in and out player anyway. When Partey was injured at the start of the season, he's being played next to Xhaka, and he's being told, oh no, you can be your sort of, you know, people have compared him to Yaya Toure. You can do that box to box, and you can do. It's like he's every time he plays, he's either got to shield it or do his, but he doesn't have a set role. He keeps being asked to do different things every single time. And then added to that, you play Smith Rowe and Odegaard as a double pivot of two, like, sort of number 8s, who, let's be fair, when they did it against Sunderland, they were dreadful at it. So, and yet you think you're going to be able to do it against Brighton in the Prem. The whole that whole midfield 3 was just wrong straight from the off. Mm-hmm. Straight from the off. Smith Rowe had one of his worst games of the season.
Yeah. And
yeah, you can put some of that on him. But at the same time, in that high 8 stuff, that's not him at all. That's not it. I said it on Thursday. I'd have put Martinelli down the middle, him on the proper left-hand side, and keep your midfield as a 3 with Odegaard operating as a proper number 10. Because he doesn't like to play deeper as well.
No.
Odegaard.
No.
You could tell how frustrated he was getting.
Yeah, totally. We'll move to him. I just wanted to put this comment up. Stop trying to influence us to accept Xhaka, Sophie. You're becoming a problem. I'm the problem. Andrew, come on now. I'm not trying to make you accept Xhaka. I'm just speaking my own truth and opinion. I backed Xhaka for a long time. And then when he started being irresponsible and getting sent off in big games like Manchester City, you know, I know he's not the long-term solution. But for now, listen to what I'm saying. Beggars can't be choosers. We got rid of so many players. Maitland-Niles could have played in midfield today. But no, let's send him to Italy as well. I'm not even going to go down the Guendouzi, Torreira path because that's done. That's history. But someone like Maitland-Niles could have stepped in today as well. Could have played right back. Cedric could have played left back. Xhaka then could have been in midfield. I'm just talking about planning, seeing things. This is the team, the hierarchy, the manager that is supposed to visualize the future and the present for the Arsenal. Make good decisions, sound decisions. So when we credit them, it's okay. But if we criticize something in the moment that we see happen, it's not. We lost today to an inferior team. We're fighting for the Champions League for top 4. And we capitulated at home to Brighton. The players bottled it, but the manager didn't set them up for success. Odegaard, James.
Yeah, 7. You know, okay, it was a massive deflection off Welbeck, but you know, he got a goal, so that bumps his rating up a bit. But yeah, again, just get him back as a proper number 10, for God's sake. I know he wears number 8, but you know what I mean. Get him in that 10 role and get him feeding a striker that actually is in the box and has a bit of movement and isn't playing either right next to where Odegaard is or even further behind him. It's just shocking. It's just shocking.
You know, because then the issue becomes, James, is the player, right? Like you said, you can't ask Doris to do the PR when she's accounts payable.
Yeah.
Right? Now, there are some workers who are flexible. You know, they can do production and maybe help the warehouse out. But they're only helping the warehouse out. Mm. You know, you can't ask the warehouse manager to do sales.
Yeah.
And the problem with players like Odegaard is when they have a bad game like this, people are like, oh, see, he is shit. He can't be consistent. But he couldn't play his natural game. You can't expect that midfield to operate effectively when you've got Xhaka at left back and then you've got Odegaard playing a little ahead of Lokonga. And who's supporting Lokonga? Mm. And as much criticism as Partey has been given, We can see what we miss when we don't have him. But as an Arsenal Football Club, my goodness, we have to be better prepared for when we lose key players. And then it's the notion that the manager sticks with certain players. Like, okay, you're not going to give Nuno another chance. I get it. You don't trust him. But you're going to keep pushing Lacazette up there, who hasn't scored in how long and has been so poor in the last 3 games. And then you substitute who I think is our most effective player, who we'll get to. James, who's next?
So it's Smith Rowe. Just for me, he's a 6. It was a bad day at the office, but again, you can say these numbers are harsh because they were set up to fail, like we said right from the off. What influence could they have when the team is all set up completely wrong?
Yeah, he was awful against Palace, and he was awful against Brighton today, and he gets injured again and goes off. This is a real problem for the Arsenal. Tierney, injury prone. Going to lose him 10, 12 games a season. Can't have that. Players get injured, I get it, but season after season, ever since he's been at the Arsenal, he's missed a lot of games. Emile Smith-Rowe, super talented, fragile. Now, I'm not being, he's not Jack Wilshere. I'm not saying that because I can see that coming up from some folks, James, but this is a concern. The Premier League, you need durable players, talented players, and they have to be durable. And I'm not going to start questioning our medical team and go that deep and that far. But Kieran Tierney being allowed to go play for Scotland was a mistake.
Especially when they come out and say we knew he was carrying, but we let him go anyway.
I mean, how does that happen? You think Pep and Klopp and Tuchel are going to allow that to happen? Look, the player wants to play for his country. Like I said yesterday, meaningless games for us, meaningful games for Kieran Tierney. Who am I to question that?
Yeah.
But this is Arsenal Football Club going for Champions League. This is hundreds of millions of pounds. This is the ability to invest in the squad and attract certain players. And we cannot miss that opportunity. But my goodness, Emile Smith-Rowe was terrible today. He gets a 2 for me. What's your grade for him?
I gave him a 6.
Okay, what?
I don't want to plumb him all the way down. That's not me. That's not the way I operate.
All right. Well, wow, you make me look like a real witch right now, James.
It's all opinions.
Yeah.
It's all opinions. And that's
all right.
I can see some of the comments flying in. It's just an opinion, people. I know we're angry. I know we're upset. It's just an opinion.
Well, I think that I don't want to mollycoddle young players. I don't want to enable them. We're loud in our praise, and they deserve the same criticism. If we're gonna criticize Xhaka or have him be the scapegoat, I mean, if we're gonna criticize Nuno, Emile Smith-Rowe, I know he's like the Croydon De Bruyne, but he has been absolute average at best in the last 2 games. Okay, who's next?
Martinelli.
I put this picture up because he was the best. Listen, this kid, this young man, is the best thing that has happened to Arsenal 2.0. He is everything that is energetic that happens in the team when he plays. He is a beacon of hope. He gets you up off your feet. We haven't had that since Alexis Sanchez. And he gets subbed. For me, he was our most dangerous player, and he gets subbed. This is why I'm questioning Arteta today, you guys. Not only because of the choices he made for the starting 11, but then subbing Martinelli, who was clearly our most dangerous player, had a goal disallowed. I just didn't get it. For me, Martinelli gets a 6.
Yeah.
How about them apples?
Yeah, same as me.
No, you can't grade Martinelli and... well, you can. It's your grade.
Yeah.
But you cannot compare Emile Smith-Rowe and Martinelli today and say that they're equal in Your player ratings are horrible anyway.
Yeah. No, it's nobody really. Again, like I said, nobody stood out. Apart, Cedric obviously got my best rating, but I mean, yeah, it was just horrible. It was a horrible game.
Yeah, but tell me about Martinelli's game.
Well, again, he gets hooked and he does. He scores a goal, runs over to the guy and shakes his hand, gets his goal disallowed. But yeah, he needs to be playing down the middle, Sophie. It's time now. It's time. If there's one thing that we can flip-flop and experiment on, it's that. Because Lacazette, if you want to go to him next, or if you want to go to Saka on the other side.
No, I'm not done with Martinelli yet. I'm not letting you get off the hook at all on this one. Yeah, because it showed today what we were lacking against Crystal Palace. I am sorry. I love Emile Smith-Rowe. He's a super talented player. But right now, in terms of talent and what a player offers a team, energy-wise, precision-wise, tracking back-wise, on the ball, off the ball, Martinelli is here and Emile Smith-Rowe is here. Agree or disagree?
Oh, I agree. Yeah, but I don't think you could give Martinelli above a 6. I don't think Smith-Rowe you could give above a 6.
Mark, we're not talking about whether or not he can get into other teams. It's not rose-tinted glasses. This is a reaction show to the game we've just seen. Martinelli was, for me, our best player. I'm not comparing him as to where he can fit in a top 6 team. That's a moot point. We don't care about that. We're talking about how he fits into our team. We're talking about how these players operate for us, the Arsenal. No, everyone knows Xhaka's not the long-term option. But for now, he works best in midfield with Thomas Partey. We know that there are players that, like Lacazette, right now, he's not the best option, but he had been the best option. It's what we've got now. Doesn't matter about other teams. Can't keep looking over our shoulder. It's crazy. Let's get to Bukayo.
Yeah. Try not to upset anybody now.
Now you want it now. Why are you holding Saka to a bigger standard than Emile Smith-Rowe then? I mean, you haven't said anything yet, but go on.
Yeah. For me, the dive summed him up. I thought he was awful. I thought it was an awful game from him. So I'll give him a 5.5.
All right. To see Saka have to dive to make something happen, as I said before, was really kind of sad. Again, he's not been that great. I don't want to hear about fatigue from anybody. Saka has played more games because he's been on a lot more international duties, come off the Euros as well. But you guys, we've been out of the Cups for a long time. We've been, we haven't had European football. Could you guys, everyone wants European football. This team, no. This is why we have to get into Europe, to double up on what we've got. I thought Saka was predictable today. Thought that he tried to do too much. Wasn't quick enough when he needed to pass the ball, held on to the ball too long. For me, needs to score more goals. Really didn't get the service in order to be able to do that today, James. He gets a 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's... I guess we should do this, right? Go on.
Oh, God. Yeah. He had 21 touches and no shots with any of those touches. It's a 4.
I wonder... Oops, sorry about that. Hold on one second. I was trying to do something smart arsey here, James, while you were chatting and stuff like that. I was going to bring Vinny out to tap Lacazette on the head to see if he actually had movement, but no, it didn't work. It's just not working, is it, James?
No. I think we've run the race with him. We got that good bit of moment out of him when we did, but now it's becoming a problem. It's becoming a real problem. I mean, after that today, you probably think, I don't want to completely put the knife into the team. However, I think after today, your top four's gone, and you're trying to salvage your top six, and even that, you need to score goals against Chelsea and Man United. And
West Ham.
And West Ham, yeah. But I'm like, on the form that he's on, he ain't doing that. Maybe Man United, from the point of view of Maguire is such an idiot, you might give him some space to do something. But even then, I'm being hopeful. Maybe like my ratings are hopeful.
Bless your little heart.
I don't want to completely lay into them. You know what I mean? I get it. It's bad. It's awful. But I'm not that guy that will completely stick. That's not who I am.
Do you think I'm sticking the knife in today?
No, you're being fair. But I can see the comments where people are like, you should give him a 2. You should give him a 1.
But they deserve a 2 and a 1.
Your hair was in the eyes for the game. I've seen it. Your opinion knows nothing. I don't know why I'm watching. Then don't watch it then.
Call me crazy here, but bear with me, everyone. Okay, things are about to get crazy. Would you rather see him play up front than Lacazette?
At this moment in time, yeah. But I'd rather Martinelli be in there, if I'm being brutally honest. But yeah, he had that diving header at the end, which wasn't a bad little chance, was it? But I don't know. It's one of them. I don't know where it's gonna go.
So I think going forward, the problem is, like I said on the show last night, there's no way Arteta was dropping Lacazette for this game, and I don't think he'll drop him for Southampton either.
No.
And he'll rather
a definitive leader, and they see him as the definitive leader.
Correct.
But
so
the best way you can lead is by scoring goals.
Right. Yeah. But unfortunately, it's not happening. But I also think that Arteta's one of those managers that's going to play him to play out of the funk.
Yeah.
But it's DEFCON 5 now. We're at critical mass. And he just keeps faith sometimes where we've seen him be ruthless with other players. And I get that he's a senior leader, but, White can be captain for a day. Ramsdale can be captain for a match. That's not what's going to make or break us as a team. What's going to make or break us as a team is scoring goals, creating chances, defending properly. That's what he has to do. What mark do you give Eddie?
When he come on?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6. Nothing special.
Okay, Lacazette gets a 1 for me. Eddie gets a.
There you
4.
go. Now they can be happy. You've
4 for putting 4 for putting the shirt on. I think I gave Bukayo a 3. This guy I wish would get more of a chance. Why not? What do we have to lose? As I said, I would have played Saka at left back. I would have played Xhaka in the middle, and I would have given Pepe a shot today on the right to run at Brighton, considering how poor they've been in their last 9-10 games, but it didn't happen. And again, doesn't really have the opportunity to affect the game too much. And when you're looking for answers off the bench and Eddie's your first choice, guy doesn't even want to sign a new contract and stay at the club. This is the inconsistency of Arteta that I just don't understand in terms of his management style and some of his decision making. But to be fair, he's come on and he hit the crossbar at Palace. He almost had the chance to score with a header. Great save at the end there, James. Yeah. Right now, I think we're in dire straits and we 100%. Don't really have solutions on the bench to address the problems.
No, it was a big gamble to go into it with that paper-thin squad. And it's not paying off at the moment,
Can I also say, I believe this to be correct, but I sent it to James during the game. You guys can correct me. Of any player in the Premier League today Pepe has scored more goals against Brighton than any other player in the Premier League.
I think that's just Arsenal players. I don't think.
Are you sure?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's Arsenal players.
Regardless.
Yeah. You look at that and you think, I know.
Okay. Let's try and get the heck out of here and let you guys go watch. I don't know what game. Sorry, Nuno. Yeah. Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
Your manager was asked about you in a press conference this week, and he said he's going to have to learn, he's going to have to grow. And if you translated that into Spanish or English, it meant I'm going to start Xhaka at left back, and you're never going to play another game for the Arsenal ever again.
That's a great
I don't like to be.
Mark, by the way, that's made me laugh.
Which one?
At least I've laughed. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
It's made me smile.
Soph, I'm sorry, but you are wrong. We have the team to be top. No, we don't have the team to be top 4. We've done well to get into a top 4 position. We will see if we have the team that can stay in the top 4 and qualify for Europe. And by the way, if we get to Europe, like I said, we need more layers. A bit like the winter time. You put your vest on, you put your thermals on, you put your jumper on, then you put your parka on. Let's get to... We'll do Mikel Arteta's quotes with Super Kev on Monday's show. I can't wait to hear what he has to say. I kind of maybe have an idea, but we'll see. What are your marks for Mikel Arteta today, James?
Oh, I'll give him a 3. I'll give him a 3.
His biggest mistakes, just to firm things up here at the end?
All of it was a mistake. If you fail to prepare to fail is the phrase, I believe, unless I've got that wrong.
Yeah.
Absolute shocker from him today.
He really did have a shocker today.
I know people say it's the players, but when you set that up, and that is from you've got to take, he said it was his fault on Monday. So you think, okay, let's see your reaction. And it's his fault again today. And in this running, how many more times is he going to be like, well, yeah, it was my fault? I said it on Thursday, anything below 6th this season, considering where we've been now, you've got to have a serious conversation about his role. You have to have that conversation.
Yeah. I've been consistent about that.
Because to me, it's failure. I mean, at the start of the year, before a ball was kicked, I did my predictions and I put us in 7th, right? So people will probably go, oh, yeah, well, you had us at 7th. So, 6th is progress, isn't it? Things change, right? It all changes. People moved the goalposts for how we finished last season and said, well, give him another year. So if you're allowed to do that, why can't I move the goalposts considering the position that we've been in now? That's what I don't understand.
Well said, James.
That's where I think it's unfair.
Well said. Football changes week on week.
Yeah.
And when you do a show, you talk about what you see. Now, you can believe in long-term planning, of course. Absolutely, 100%. But that doesn't mean that you can't be critical of something so glaring today. It wasn't Mikel Arteta's fault we lost to Manchester City. We just lost to a really good team. It wasn't his fault we lost to Liverpool. We lost to a really good team. Plus, beyond our starting 11, we don't have much. And we've said it all along, which is why some Arsenal fans who keep raging about January are right. And maybe, Mr. Mikel Arteta, you do need to justify that a little bit. Maybe you do when your little head hits the pillow at night. No shame Luke getting kicked out of the League Cup to Liverpool. Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup. Sorry, mate. You screwed that one up. And you screwed the FA Cup up the last 2 seasons. So we try to be fair and we say things as they see them. So well put, James. Arteta gets a 1 for me just for changing his black top to something a little bit different today. I thought his decision making was poor. Substitutions too late. Wouldn't have. Eddie has come on as a sub often. Why not try something different with Pepe? Shift Laka out of that left back position altogether. Didn't kind of grab the ball by the horns. This is where he's supposed to earn his crust, and this is where he's supposed to make the difference. And when a team has injuries, and this is a young team and the youngest team in the Premier League, it feels like our inexperience is showing. We have young players who are mature, but our naivety has really come to the forefront. So now we move on. Southampton got thumped by Chelsea today. They are our next opponent, James. And we shall see what happens. Unfortunately, we're 0-2 in the 3 games we had to win. This is a disaster for us. If Tottenham beat Villa today, and they are leading currently, we will be 3 points behind with an inferior goal difference too. We have Manchester United. We have Southampton, Leeds, who are resurgent under Jesse March as well. That's not going to be an easy match. And then we have Chelsea, Manchester United within 3 days, and then West Ham 6 days after that, and then the North London derby as well. So it's a bit grim, but it's not over till the maths teacher says it's impossible, James.
Yeah, very true. It's just, you said it there. Young team, young manager, inexperience. When there's already inexperience there, don't go trying to be, but to use a silly analogy, don't go all Heston Blumenthal when you just need to be KFC. Just don't put this, that, and the other in there. Just stick to basic. What got you to the dance was playing, your 4 at the back with your proper 3 in the mid. Stick to it.
Yeah.
Stick to it. That's the one, because I've seen a lot of revisionism this week with this Unai Emery getting a result against Bayern Munich, right? We were dreadful. We were absolutely dreadful. He had to go. The players, okay, there was a lot of them in there that were, the majority of them were bellends, and they've since gone, but they've proven to be bellends elsewhere as well, which didn't help because he had a player power problem, at PSG, right? One thing I'll give Arteta is he has got us a Rizzler paper away from where we need to go to then push on again. And I'll give him that. However, now that it's going wrong, you've got, again, like I said, goalposts keep moving, football changes daily. You got to go. You got to shape up, or you got to go, because the way it's going, I don't think we even get top 6.
No, we're in danger of falling out altogether, and we don't want that European conference at all. And Mark thinks there is nothing wrong with a bucket of chicken.
Oh, there isn't. There isn't nothing wrong with KFC.
You saved your best until last, it's not great. Listen, guys, we will be back live with you on Monday. Chin up. Hope it doesn't ruin your weekend completely. I'm off to watch the big derby here between LA Galaxy and LAFC. Hopefully that will be a really great game. James, have a wonderful Saturday evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Super Kevin Campbell will be back with his thoughts on Monday. Can't wait to hear what he thinks about today's debacle. In the meantime, this show doesn't exist without you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And let's hope that we can turn this around. As I said, it's not over until the mathematics are completely and utterly impossible. Squaddies, at ease. We'll see you on Monday.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.